So they finally added the new prop expansion, eh? Let's see it. Come on, show me a game. Okay, there it is. I'm gonna buy it now with my perfect amount of Ringos to actually buy it.
Bruh.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, they added a new expansion to the game for once to the prop placer. Yeah, I know it's crazy. This is the farming expansion. Here is the first items, the cacti. So there's 4 cacti, the large cacti and the small cacti. The small cactuses, are actually a recolor of the sentient sombreros model. Interestingly enough. But if you go over here, you can actually see that the large cacti aren't even a normal Mirage cactus. They're just new models for whatever reason. I don't really get the point in that, but next up is gonna be the fertilizer. Now, it's fertilizer. There's not really much more to say. It's just got a PNG of a carrot slapped onto it, and yeah, that's about it. And it's just fertilizer. I don't really know what else you want me to say. I don't exactly know if this would be common post-flash, but yeah, it's also really small. Next up is going to be the garden apple, garden beetroot, garden carrot, garden corn, garden lettuce, and the garden watermelon. Or as I call it, the garden foods, because, that's way easier to say than regurgitating all of those, again. I personally like these. I feel like the watermelon can definitely be used for a lot, and, I guess the carrot is, something that we've needed in Mirage for a while, same with the corn. Outside of that, I guess the lettuce looks like a bush. That's about it. Next up is going to be one of these again. The gardening pitchfork, gardening rake, gardening shovel, and the gardening till. Now, these are all just what I like to call the garden tools because that's what they are. So I think they're all fine. They're definitely useful. They're I wouldn't say they're bad. I think one of them's stolen from Farlands, but outside of that, uh, I don't know, man. They're all fine. They'd probably be decent melee weapons. The next one we're going to be looking at is going to be the grapevine. Now, the grapevine is, a couple of grapes growing. That's just really all it is. Uh, yeah. I'd argue it's part of the garden foods. But it's also, like, bigger than everything else, so, I don't know where to classify it. Next up is going to be the compost bin. Now, the compost bin is, well, a compost bin. Not much else to say. I guess you could use it for storage if you wanted to. There's nothing really stopping you from doing so. It looks good, I guess. It's definitely not a bad item. I'm probably gonna use it around my various bases that I'm inevitably gonna make. Uh, Gas Mask Sammy X RocketRIdge base collaboration win. Is it confirmed? Maybe, I don't know, man. He got Discord now. But anyway, on the topic of bases, moving on to the next set of items, these are going to be the greenhouses. Now, currently there are 4 greenhouses. The first one that we're going to be looking at is going to be the scrap greenhouse. Now, as Danshak pointed out, these can kind of function as a house, at least this one can. If you go into here, you can see that it's kind of small, but you can definitely, like, if you place a shelf down, maybe like a bed, and, I don't know, something else, like a table, then you've got yourself a solid little house. Anyway, on to Greenhouse 1 and Greenhouse 2. As you can see, they're entirely empty, free to put whatever that you want into them. I've personally never seen a greenhouse that looks like the one on the left. It's more of a, like fully open one. I guess there's a purpose for it. Like if you want, you can group those 2 greenhouses together and then make a longer one. But anyway, here is the classic greenhouse. This one, funnily enough, has a floor. I don't believe the other 2 do. It's a nice little greenhouse. This is what I personally think of whenever I hear the word greenhouse. It definitely fulfills its job as a classic greenhouse, I guess. I don't know, I personally really like it. It's nice, it's simple. Uh, these definitely offer a nice home without the scrap pack. Next up are going to be the hay bales. Now, hay bales, I don't think I need to really describe what a hay bale is. They're four horses, which, that makes sense considering Chad is adding horses. I'd imagine some people might RP them as giant sandbags, which, I mean, I guess that works too. They're definitely good. I'll probably use them. Next up is going to be hydroponics, number 1 through 3, left to right. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, I had no fucking idea what the hell a hydroponic was before I started working on this. But essentially, they're just shelving units for plants that also have like water sprinklers in them. So, you know, the plants don't die. And yeah, that's essentially what hydroponics are. You could probably use them as normal shelves if you wanted to. Just like fucking empty out all the dirt and shit. And hey, you got shelves. Congrats. Next up is going to be plant bed 1, 2, and 3. 1 being the small wooden one, 2 being the smaller scrap one, and 3 being the largest one. The third one definitely looks good. The first two, you could probably also use as like dog food or something, because, dogs kind of exist in Mirage. Next up is going to be the younger brother of the garden food set, the plant crop set. Now, from left to right, these are plant crops from 1 to 5. Uh, the lettuce, again, looks like bushes. One thing of note, though, the cacti looks like biomass. For whatever reason, Shad just makes baby cacti look like biomass. It might look like that in real life, I haven't really seen baby cacti. Next up is going to be the potted plant set. So there are 3 here. I like that they added more than just the potted cacti. Uh, they definitely will probably shake up the land a little bit, so it's not just all scrap. Next up is going to be the produce display. Now, the produce display has been all along Cliffguard and other various settlements ever since like fucking, I don't know, probably day 1 at this point, honestly. I think we had these back in the day, like meat displays and stuff. I think that's a thing. But now we have an empty one. Next up is going to be the Paver Set. Now, these are all just rocks and like stone. You can make like a stone path with some of these if you want. Just slap a couple of them down. I like them, definitely. Uh, you know, now you can throw giant ass fucking pebbles into Lake Mead. Next up is going to be the Tilled Earth set from 1 to 5. So these are, well, these could be mud, or dirt, or tilled land, or like quicksand. There's a lot of. You could probably make these a lot of things, is what I'm saying. You could definitely use these for a lot of things. One thing that I used it for specifically is a trophy stand like in Terraria. As you can see on screen now, uh, like a trophy thing kind of like in Terraria for like cool items and shit that you find. Next up is going to be the water collector. Now, the water collector is a very simple yet useful resource for collecting water. Essentially, it rains, and then it lands in a tarp, and then it goes down into a barrel, which it has a cut open slope, I guess, and that goes down, and boom, and now, what you got is you got yourself a, a little valve that can be opened, and boom, water. Wow. Although the water in the model doesn't look too appetizing. Next up is going to be a very, very small watering can. Like, seriously, why is it so small? You could probably fill up like a half a fucking bottle of this. Or with this. Like, huh? Next up is some wheelbarrows. Now, one is filled with hay and the other is entirely empty. So I'm pretty sure these are actually the last items. but you know they're just some wheelbarrows. One's empty, one has hay. Uh, you know, that's good, I guess. If you want to transport some hay, you can. Uh, it's a wheelbarrow. Need I say more? Anyway, on the final items, they aren't actually here. We gotta go out back to my little farm of them. They are trees, if you can see them in the distance. I don't think they're visible yet, but you know they're trees. Uh, there's 4 of them so far. The first 2, there's barely any difference, just different like leaf positionings. The other 2 have apples on them, and yeah, that's quite literally the only difference between them. They're quite literally all the exact same fucking thing, only 2 of them have apples, and the other 2 have some weird shaping of the leaves. Now you can actually see them, because, you know, the middle one is the normal Mirage tree. I don't know why the props look so much different than the normal Wasteland tree, but for whatever reason, you know, they do. And, yeah, that's about it. No, but like, seriously though, look at the size of this tree. Oh fuck! The leecher's in the trees! He's in the trees! Oh fuck! Have you ever been broke and you want cool, but you're too broke to afford cools? Well, don't worry. Now is time to do introducing all new shirt. What do you mean we already have that shirt? Alright, well, don't worry. We have another shirt that's also very sexy. Introducing Sad Cowboy. Look at how sad and depressed he is. Don't you want to be just like him? Well, don't worry. Now you can be just as sad and just as depressed as him, if not more. Now you can buy all of these because you're a fucking insane person. Beep beep.